All right. So here's the question that's lighting up the search engines lately. How to be feminine? Yeah, you heard me right. Seems simple, right? But we're living in a time where understanding what it means to be feminine is getting more and more confusing on both sides. Is it about being soft, being strong, or a mix of both? I've been seeing a lot of this topic pop up, and frankly, I think there's a major disconnect happening between femininity and feminism. Today, we're going to clear that up. So if you've ever found yourself wondering what it really means to be a feminine woman in today's world, this one's for you. From a man's perspective, of course. Now, it seems like a simple concept, but when you start digging into it, you realize that there's a lot of confusion out there, right? Especially with how things get mixed up in feminism. And the thing is, there's a big difference. One is all about who a woman is, her natural energy. The other is more of a social movement, a push for equality. Both are valid, but they are not the same thing. So let's break it down. Femininity. When we talk about a feminine woman, we're talking about qualities like grace, warmth, nurturing energy, emotional intelligence, traits that have traditionally been associated with women, but also with balance, right? It's about a certain softness, but it's not weakness. Let's be real. There's a lot of power in being feminine. It's like when you walk into a room and a woman is fully in her femininity, there's an energy that is just magnetic. Men are drawn to it. On the other hand, feminism, that's more of what they say a movement. It's about what they say equal rights. It's political. It's social. It's advocating for a woman's empowerment, which is great in its own right as well. But I think sometimes we confuse these two things, and that's where it gets super messy. Feminism and femininity, they don't have to be at odds, but they are different. And when they're treated like they're the same thing, especially in relationships, that's where the wires get crossed. What's happening today is that there's this cultural misunderstanding. You've got a lot of women out there who think that to be feminine, they have to adopt these hardcore feminist ideas, like being independent to the point where they don't need anyone, especially a man. And hey, more power to you if that's your thing or your MO. But for some guys, it can be, what's the word? Repellent. It's like the more you project that you don't need us, the more we kind of just pull our weight. Now, contrast that with femininity, the type of energy that's nurturing, that listens, that's soft but powerful in its own way. That's something a lot of men are naturally drawn to. There's a balance there. It's not about submission or weakness. It's about complementing each other, right? And there's the kicker. Femininity doesn't mean giving up strength. In fact, it takes so much strength to embrace that femininity to the fullest. Now let's dig into why men are attracted to femininity. Because it's like we're saying, oh, a woman has to be a certain way or else. No, it's more like when a woman walks in her femininity, there's an energy that naturally complements masculinity. We're talking about different types of strength here. For example, when a woman is empathetic, when she's emotionally open, when she carries herself with grace, men just respond to that. It's like in the old days where they used to say a virtuous woman. That kind of art to femininity, it almost feels like it's been a bit lost in today's world. It's like we're wired to seek that balance. And I'll tell you, a woman who can own her femininity, she's got this ability to inspire a man to step up, to be a protector, to be present. You know what I mean? It's not about who's stronger or who's the leader. It's about this natural back and forth energy that just works. And this is where feminism comes in and kind of complicates things. In some cases, the way feminism is portrayed today can lead to this competitive dynamic in relationships, right? Like, who's calling the shots? Who's in control? It can sometimes create friction where both partners are pushing against each other rather than flowing together. Femininity, on the other hand, often encourages harmony. A lot of men, when they feel appreciated and understood, they naturally want to give more, want to protect more, and want to provide. It's not a control thing. It's just how relationships have worked for centuries. It's like, I respect you for your inner femininity. You respect me for my masculinity. And together we can make something even stronger. Now, here's a big misconception I see a lot. The idea that being feminine means you're somehow less independent or that you're giving up your power. That couldn't be further from the truth. Femininity isn't about giving up anything. It's about embracing a type of power that is just different from masculinity. Like, is that not hard to see? And honestly, I think that's where the confusion comes from. A woman can be a boss at work, run her own company, make her own money, and still be in her feminine energy when she comes home or in her personal life. It's not an either or kind of situation. It's both. It's about balance, strength, where strength and softness can coexist. And the most magnetic women are the ones who've mastered this balance. So at the end of the day, here's what it comes down to. Femininity and feminism are not the same thing, but they can exist side by side. The key is understanding when you're stepping into each role. Feminism is about social equality or lack thereof, which is very important and necessary work. But femininity, that's an energy. That's how you carry yourself. That's what so many men are drawn to. Not because we want something to be weak or someone to be weak, but because it complements us. So here's my challenge for the women out there. Embrace your femininity. Be strong. Be independent. But don't be afraid to tap into those nurturing, graceful qualities. Please. You don't lose anything by doing that. In fact, you gain a lot more. And for the men, appreciate that balance when you see it. Recognize how powerful it is when a woman can step into her full femininity and meet her with the best version of your masculinity. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think about this whole femininity versus feminism conversation? Drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future conversations we have right here. It's Laura Vaughn, and catch y'all soon.